I didn't know this was possible, but I achieved my goal of becoming a digital nomad as an aerialist, and here's how I did it.
How she turned her unique hobby into a ticket to freedom and became my community's first digital nomad. Guys, you have no idea how happy I am to make this video. This video is kind of a case study to show you what is possible, because I feel the number one problem when people want to become a digital nomad is they have no idea where to start, how they can make money online. Just like this person also had no clue, and I want to show you how I helped and guided her to now making enough money to live her digital nomad lifestyle here in Bali. Just quickly, in case you have no clue who I am, my name is Joachim Badejoh, and I am a digital nomad. I've been a digital nomad for the last almost 4 years now, which is insane because that was always my biggest dream. And I'm just very grateful that I can live that dream life right now. And I started out as a freelance media buyer. If you have no idea what a media buyer is, it's actually basically somebody that runs Facebook ads, Instagram ads, could also be a different platform. And I did that specifically for e-commerce brands. Then I started my agency, so I've been running that for the last almost 6 years now, which is insane. I mentored and coached people in media buying because I think it's a very important skill to have if you're if you have an e-commerce brand or if you are a social media manager. It's such an important skill to have, and people will pay you very good for that. So I think it's a very good high income skill to have. Then I also launched an e-commerce brand with my ex because she didn't have an online income. So we started an online income of our online business together. That was an e-commerce brand, and we generated 100K in our first year, which I still think to this day is amazing. And I founded a school community where I help people become digital nomad, and I focus a lot on the income generation part because first of all, that's where my passion is, and second of all, I think it's really important. Like, you can know where to go to, but if you don't have an online income, it's going to be really, really hard. Now let's dive into how Suki made her online income and is officially a digital nomad now. So I first want to give you some backstory about her. So Suki, born in Vietnam, moved to Germany at age 2 and lived in Germany. And of course, her parents wanted her to have a very good job, just like a lot of us, where our parents actually want a better life for us than they had themselves. And for them, studying is a very important part. And Suki did exactly that, and she actually went to the university, a very prominent university in Germany, to become an engineer. While she was studying to become an engineer, she was also working in a restaurant. But after her bachelor, when she finished her bachelor in engineering, she got an opportunity to become the manager of that restaurant, and she did exactly that. And she was doing really well in the restaurant, and she was making a lot of money, and she was earning so good that for the first time in her life, she was in a unique situation where she actually could stop her job, have enough money, and have enough time to do something different. And then that's when she decided to go on a world trip. She traveled the world. She went to places like New York, places in Asia, places in Europe. But one of the locations she always wanted to go to was Bali. And just like a lot of people here in Bali, it's like when they arrive in Bali, they stay in Bali because the energy is so contagious and there's so many digital nomads. I think it's the biggest digital nomad hub in the world. And right now at this moment, I'm also in Bali. So she was living in Bali. Also, like, the pandemic happened, so she couldn't really go away. So she was living in Bali of her savings. And of course, in Bali, it is way cheaper to live there compared to living in Germany. So for her, it was nice. She was living her best life, but she didn't have an income. So she had to make like a new way of making income because she didn't want to go back to Germany to start working in a restaurant again. So this was the first thing she did. She made an account on Upwork, and this is what I advise everyone to do. Like, you cannot go wrong with making a profile on Upwork because when your profile is there, somebody might just randomly hire you. Imagine like Suki got the most random jobs. She had to work for an engineering company, which was good because she had an engineering background, so she could help that company. And she worked for that company a few hours every day or a few hours every week. And that way she was generating some income and didn't have to rely only on her savings. And sometimes she had random jobs where it was just like translating German text or like proofreading or proof listening to German text. So I think everybody that wants to become a digital nomad, I think just making an Upwork profile is a very good thing to do because you might just make random income. But after a while, nobody was hiring her anymore. And she was fine with that because she still had some savings. But also, like, yeah, it does make you worry a little bit after a while. And after living a while in Bali now, her savings were going down. And this is what I also sometimes see happen to a lot of people. people that come to Bali, they want to make it happen, but sometimes it just doesn't happen that quickly. Sometimes because we have limited beliefs, sometimes because we don't know what to exactly do, sometimes we just don't know how we could make an online, how we can make an income online besides working a remote job or besides doing Upwork freelancing gigs. So left and right, she had some small gigs still, but not enough to sustain her lifestyle here in Bali. And around this time is also the time that I met Suki, and I told her the idea that I want to help other people become digital nomads, and then I'm planning on building a community where I could help people, because I feel like I have so much knowledge, because I've made money online in so many different ways, that I feel like I have so much knowledge to share. She thought it was an amazing idea because she was also at that moment on the verge of like, okay, I need to make this happen. So we did that. So she got really inspired because at that moment, so after a few conversations, she told me money ran so low, she had to go back to Germany. And she had to go back, work in the restaurant to make some money to hopefully come back to Bali. So she had a goal. She was persistent. She was like, okay, I will now have to go back to Germany, but I want to make it happen. I want to have an online income where I can make money from anywhere in the world so I can live in Bali or anywhere in the world. So she goes back to Germany. I'm building this community. And as you can see, she was my very first member. I remember April 24th, I posted my first video in my community, and I was just explaining them the different ways I made money. I sold digital courses, I did online coaching, I have my agency, I did e-commerce, I ran online webinars. So I just put all that info in that video, and as you can see, Suki was one of the first people that was inspired, and she said like, oh my god, so much amazing knowledge and insights, and now she just has to start how she wants to make money. I remember after this, I was talking to her, and she would be like, oh my god, it would be so amazing if I could make money from my hobby. But of course, that's not possible. And then she was looking into becoming a social media manager because she had some experience with creating content. She was looking into starting an e-commerce brand. She was looking into like doing affiliate marketing or reselling other courses. So there were so many options, but she wasn't still clear on it. And I was thinking with her, brainstorming with her, like what could it be for her? Because that is the most difficult part. There's so many options that we often just get paralyzed by all the options and don't take any action. And I remember one day she was sitting next to me and she was posting on her different Instagram profiles. So she had two Instagram profiles, one for her life and one about her hobby. And her hobby was aerial acrobatics. In all fairness, I never really heard of it, but she has been posting on this account for the last 3 years because she was just posting her progress and just what she did there. And I thought, oh, that's so cool. And I looked at her profile. I was like, oh, wow, you got 8,000 followers. I was like, where do these followers come from? And she said like, yeah, I've just been posting for 3 years and I just loved it. And some people started then reposting my stuff. And I was like, wait, why wouldn't you make money with this? And she was like, okay, but how would I make money with aerial? Like, I've been doing this for 3 years. I haven't made any money in the last 3 years. And then she thought, oh, maybe I could do collaborations with brands that maybe want to sponsor me. And I thought, no, I think, why don't you make an online course and sell that to people that are in that niche? And she asked me like, is that possible? And I said, yeah, for sure. After that moment, she got the clarity she needed. She was persistent on making that happen. She was like, okay, if I could make money by doing my hobby, that would be the biggest dream come true. So I think now it's very important, right? Building an online course is actually easy. Everybody can create an online course, but where everybody gets stuck is selling it. And it is harder than you think. The concept of selling a course sounds amazing, right? You think like, oh, I make it once and then I just keep on selling it and selling it. And that's why it is almost the best money hack or money glitch where you can make passive income. But again, the selling part is so hard. So then we had to start thinking like, okay, what could she sell? And the most obvious thing, and what other people were doing in that niche, were selling tutorials. Tutorials of how I did this trick, and then you can buy that trick where it's a full video of me showing it in slow motion. And I thought like, yeah, that could be a possible route, and a few other people were doing it, but I think it wasn't as good of an idea. So I asked her like, what is it that people compliment you? What is it that makes you unique? What is it that you are maybe a little bit better at than the most average people? She said, yeah, a lot of people compliment me for my back bend, like the way she can bend backwards in the silks. And then she said like, yeah, I also want to make a course for that, because then I don't feel I'm competing with everybody else. And I think that was such a smart thing. Because if you're competing with other people, people can compare price. But if you're the only one offering something, then people cannot compare. And they can only go to you if they want to learn that. So then we were, okay, we're going to do a back bending course, a mini course, just to get our feet wet and to see how that goes. So of course, it was first finding the right audience. And I think this is really important. First, it's finding the right audience who actually needs this course. Then it's positioning you in that market. And then it's marketing effectively. So all the people that were following her were in the aerial space as well. And a lot of people were struggling with that back bend. So she was gonna solve a specific problem. So instead of going really broad and telling people like, hey, I will teach you to become an aerialist, she searched for a specific problem that could make people a little bit better, and that was the back bending. So the audience she already had, and it's so interesting because she was building this audience and she didn't want anything in return. And usually that's the best way. When you don't have any expectations and you're just creating because you love creating, then you have a real authentic following. And that following, of course, also wants to solve their problems. So that's why I thought her product was a perfect idea. But then one big question was like, for how much do I sell this course? And in the beginning, like most of people, when they sell a course, it's like $100 course, $1,000 course, but we didn't feel that we could sell it at that high of a price, and she didn't feel comfortable with that as well. So I thought, like, why don't we start with a mini course? You know, like just again, to get your feet wet, to see if people like it, and to have like a no-brainer offer. So we decided to make a course, a mini course for $37. And I think this is a perfect price point because it's not too expensive, it's not too cheap. And if you have enough sales, you will also still make money. So she took action and started filming her course. Again, we were just focusing on a 1-hour course. That's why we call it a mini course. And it's just an MVP. What I mean with an MVP is like your most valuable product. It's like the most basic version of your course. Because in the beginning, you don't know if you're going to make money with it. So don't invest in an expensive camera person, in an expensive studio, in an expensive, like just film a very basic version. And then if it's proven, you can make a new version and make it better. And that's exactly what she did. It took her 2 days to film everything just with one camera, just with her iPhone, filming everything with a tripod. And that was basically what she did. So don't invest in crazy stuff. If you have an iPhone, if you have a phone with a camera, that's enough. Now she had everything filmed. She edited everything. And again, this is the easy part. Everybody can do that. But now to effectively sell it, you need a sales page. That sales page is actually going to be the person, or like the mechanism that is going to convince people to be interested in something and effectively spend their money on that product. And I think this is what most people don't understand when they think about making an online product. They think like, oh, I'm just going to make the online product, I'm going to post it on Instagram, and then I hope everybody's going to buy it. That actually almost never happens. That is not the reality of things. That's why a sales page is very important. And I explain that also in my school community. I give them a sales page. It's actually a basic outline of something. It's not that you just have to think like, okay, I'm just going to write this and that. No, there are frameworks in marketing that are proven that you can just follow. And that's how you can make a sales page. So I'll give you the outline that we used for this sales page. So now I will explain you the outline, but also when you see other sales pages, try to recognize if you can see patterns, because those patterns you can just use as well for your sales page. But here's basically what we did. First, we had the image of the product and the promise that they were going to get. Because a digital product is not tangible, so you have to make it a little bit tangible by making like a Canva template with like a computer screen where they could see like it's a course, you know. Then the proof of results, you know, like she shared the results she got personally with what she's sharing. Then exactly how her method works. In marketing, we call it like a unique mechanism. It's like, why is this different than anything else? Who this method works for, because she could go even broader and target other people in ballet or other niches, but we said like people that are doing aerial. So because we knew that the people that were going to watch the sale page were inside of the aerial niche, that was important to mention. Then we shared a story about transformation, because at the end of the day, people, when they read that transformation, they want that transformation for themselves as well. Then step by step, how they will get results. Then a money back guarantee. And this is just basically like, you have to think about it. Basically, everybody that buys a course or buys a course for the first time, I don't know why, they always think it's a scam. I had the same thing. When I bought my very first course, I thought like, maybe I buy it and maybe it's a scam. So that's why it's really important to add a money back guarantee. That way, if they go inside and they don't like it, they can ask back for their money. Then added a few free bonuses. Then paint the picture of success. Help them envision themselves seeing how their life would look like with the results of your product. Then answer frequently asked questions, and that's basically it. So that's what most people don't have. Most people will set up a stand store with a little bit of information like, hey, this course is about aerial backbending and this is why I made it. No, you need this. You need a whole set of words to convince people to buy that product. It's almost like a salesperson that is working for you. So when that was all finished, she soft launched it. What do I mean with a soft launch? She just posted on her story, hey guys, I made a backbending course. If you're interested in it, you can look at it. She did that and she had one sale, which was amazing because one sale, that first online sale, proves to you that people will buy it. And second of all, it's the best feeling in the world. The fact that you put all that effort in and you get that one first sale. That's amazing. But of course, one sale is not enough. So now we had to start thinking like, okay, how are we gonna sell more of this? So we have sales and you have marketing, and how are we gonna market it? So we thought, okay, we could do reels, we could do stories, and we could do carousels. These are your three options that you have. And I thought it was really important to install ManyChat, because when somebody comments on one of these things, ManyChat can automatically send a message to these people so that you automatically respond to them and you can send them the link, or you can like tell them to go to the link in bio. So basically, what we did was we made a carousel first, and then we pinned it at the top of her page. So every time when a new follower comes on her page, she would see that carousel about her course. She did that, and with posting the carousel, with posting the stories, and posting the reel, she made, I think, 10 to 15 sales. For her, that was mind-blowing, because all of a sudden she's waking up to sales, which is one of the best feelings you can have, that when you put all that effort in, and now she can just make videos on her Instagram profile, just exactly what she was doing before, but now she just gets paid for that. And now fast forward to 2 days ago, she just said, hey guys, I reached another milestone. I did 5K sales after 3 weeks of launching my course. It was such a huge milestone for her, and it's exactly how much money she spends monthly in Bali. So after 4 weeks, she will probably do K in revenue. And also know that this is just the beginning for her. Now it will only become more, because she's just still trying to figure it all out. But the moment she gets dialed in, she will make at least 3 to 5K per month. And the most beautiful part of it is now she only has to work maybe 1 hour, do her hobby, and she gets paid. And that's the most beautiful thing I think that is possible. I think it's a goal for many people. And the whole goal of this video is just to show you it is possible. If you think like you cannot make money online, just know you can. You just need a little bit of information, a little bit of guidance, or sometimes just a good idea. Let's see what Suki has to say about this.
When I first met Jojo and joined his Digital Nomad Accelerator, I was at the point in my life where I knew I had to make it happen. I just didn't know exactly how. I quickly absorbed all the knowledge that he had shared in his community. I did his exercises about mindset and ikigai, but I was still a little bit lost on what exactly I wanted to do. But it felt really good having that community of people with the same goal, trying to figure it out together. After a few trial and errors, I had a conversation with Jojo about my hobby, which is aerial acrobatics in the silks, and he sparked the idea in me that I could try and monetize that, especially since I already built a following in that niche. We brainstormed a few ideas, and I ultimately decided that I wanted to make a course about back flexibility. After that idea was born, everything went quite quickly. I wrote my script, I took a weekend out to record everything, went back home, did my voiceovers, edited my videos, and in the background learned everything that was about selling an online course, which goes from how to write a sales page, setting a sales page up, learning about the marketing part of it, payment providers, and everything else. And fast forward to now, it's been a little bit over a month since I launched my course about back flexibility, and I made $1,750 in sales. I'm currently living my dream, which is living abroad, honing in on my aerial skills while earning money online from it. A huge thank you goes out to Jojo and his Digital Nomad Accelerator community for helping me making this happen.
So as you can see, I just want to let you know it is possible. I've seen people that are online breakdance coaches. I've seen people now selling, like, are actually online aerial coaches. So no matter how crazy it might seem, just know that it's possible, even for an average person like Suki that had no idea that you could make money online. Just with the right information and a little bit of guidance, she made it happen. And I hope this video inspires you to make sure that you know it is possible for you as well. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Badejoh out.